Before we used to work a single shift, but nowadays we are working double shifts due to the fact that early in the morning with their customers who need our products early in the morning. Sometimes I hardly sleep at all.
Sounds like very busy, and then also you have more business, which is good for you, right?
Yes, it's
What does that mean? What does Rogathe mean?
okay. Rogathe is a name of the main founder. Before it used to be my dad who started the dairy farm around this area. The dairy farm, before when I was young, my father used to be a farmer.
Okay.
Yeah, so all the other neighbors used to call him Rogathe.
I see.
Yes. So when he passed and we stopped our operations of being farmers around 10 years ago before I started again, 3 years ago. So when I started 3 years ago and when I opened the small processing facility and I asked the farmers to bring in milk. So whenever they were asked, where are you taking your milk to? They used to say, we are taking our milk to Rogathe.
This is a legacy name, right?
Yes, exactly.
I saw your profile. Very interesting.
Yes.
You studied in Malaysia and studied Singapore National University of Singapore, and then came back to the Tanzania.
Yes,
studying this dairy processing startup.
Yes.
But I can imagine Asia is very different from Europe, North America, Latin America, Africa. I think they share more things in common in terms of culture, right? But Asia very different. I guess you may have some culture shock or the inconvenience from coming from the huge culture difference. What was your experience living and studying in Malaysia and Singapore?
It's true. Okay, the cultural experience was quite different. So I really liked the place. I liked Malaysia. I liked Singapore very much. But the cultural experience in terms of language, learning experience, it was whole of a new experience to my side.
Especially Singapore, studying in Singapore. I'm from Korea. People say that Korea is a very, very tough for the student. I mean, because very intensive program and cramming a lot of cramming on the exam and then memorizing all the knowledge. It's a lot of competition there. But people also say that Singapore maybe same or worse than Korea. How did you find
that? It's very true. Maybe it's worse than Korea. It's even worse than Tanzania. Studying in Singapore is a whole new stressful thing than even what I'm doing right now. The transition I had from Tanzanian learning style to the Asian learning style, it was quite different. Sometimes I was even asked to drop the course because I wasn't doing very well.
But then I succeeded. Right?
Yes. But then I was able to pull up after a while. So the truth is the transition was really difficult.
It's tough. Good thing is you survived in Singapore, studying in one of the best universities in Singapore and Asia probably.
Yes.
And then you transform yourself by surviving there, right?
Yes.
Which is good. Which is upside for you, I guess. Right?
Yes, it's really upside. Yes, it's really good.
So are you trying to transition transform the working culture in Tanzania to Singaporean or Asian way in some way?
Exactly, and that is what I'm doing at the moment. The working culture in Singapore, it's really good in terms of how people are devoted in working. It's unlike in Tanzania, unlike in Africa, I'd say. In Tanzania, you need to be yourself to push things through. That is why sometimes I even have to work double shift so that I can try to show my fellow employees that okay, this is how things are done. Sometimes I even tell them it's a Singaporean style of working, and they are all surprised. In Tanzania, someone might come in the office 8 a.m. in the morning, then by 10 a.m. he goes for break, comes back 11 a.m. Then by 1 p.m. he goes for lunch, comes back 2 p.m. Then by 4 p.m. he's out of the office. So if you try and see the gap intervals, you'll find out that individual only works 3 to 4 hours within a day. Unlike in Singapore, where when someone goes to the office by 8 a.m., then he or she will have a non-stop work You will only have around 30 to 40 minutes for lunch, then back to business as usual. Then by 5 or 4 p.m., that's when he leaves out of the office. But for us in Tanzania, it's quite different. It's quite different. A whole new
Yeah, I can imagine.
experience of
I can
working.
imagine.
Yes.
I live and work in the six Asian country, and I work for the American company very long time, and did a lot of business, European customer and American, other part of the world. But work ethic and discipline, a very high level of discipline and accountability, pretty common for the Singapore, Korea, Japan. That's the why. I mean, that's also culture. It's not something you can learn from them overnight, right? It's a culture thing. You need to, if you want to implement or transform, transition into the different culture, different work ethic. I think you need to work a lot with the people and then help them to accept that. Otherwise, push them to just change. I think it's very, very difficult, right?
Yes, it's very true. It's very difficult for them to adapt, but they have no option.
Right.
To my side, I always tell them you have no option, but we need to keep things moving. And that has been our success factor for 1 year. In 1 year, we have transformed our operations to something that everyone is asking us, how have you been pulling this? Then I often have no answer to give them. But then I realized I think it's a Singaporean style of working that has helped us to pull this through.
You can call it Asian style from today on.
Surely I have to
That's not the Singaporean style.
Yeah, it's really the Asian style. Yeah,
Right.
surely it is.
Also, I watched the interesting video because I need to do a little bit of homework and do the research, find out about your business, your background. I saw the interesting video. I don't know how to pronounce it. Nip deal season. What is that?
Nipedili.
Nipedili. Okay, Nipedili.
Nipedili. So,
Nipedili season.
yeah.
Well, is this something like a
Yes.
Shark Tank in Africa?
Exactly. So Nipedili, it's a Shark Tank of Tanzania. It started when it started like 4 years ago, I think. Yeah, this is the second season. So you need to to participate. It's only by invitation. So I had asked to participate 2 years ago, and they refused, telling me that I'm still young and I don't qualify. My business doesn't qualify to participate in Nipedili. So this last year is when I requested to participate. No, I didn't request. Apparently, they had seen the changes that we've had, the transformation. So they called us and they said, okay, I think you guys are now ready for Nipedili. So it's kind of a Shark Tank. I'll say a Shark Tank of Tanzania specifically, whereby around 20 entrepreneurs are called in and asked to pitch to the investors. Then the investors will be, those which are interested will give you a deal. So for last year, I was the only one given the deal out of more than the 20 entrepreneurs.
Wow, that's amazing. So some of them make an investment into your business. Is that how it works?
Yeah. So the judges, they would make an investment. Yeah. If there is an appetite in your business. Exactly. So that is what happens.
Got you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode. This is your host, David Kim. Hi, Ignatus. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, David. It's a pleasure to be here.
Let's get it started by telling the audience a little bit about yourself and your background, how you got into this space, came to run the launch the Rogathe.
As my name is Ignatus. I'm from Tanzania. Yeah, I'm a social enterprise owner, Rogathe Dairy. My background I have a bachelor's degree in industrial biotechnology from National University of Singapore. So coming back to Tanzania 5 years ago, I saw a whole new experience in the employment market. Then I decided to venture myself into entrepreneurship. I opened a couple of business, around 4 business. 3 went on successful and 1 failed. But then Rogathe Dairy is the one that turned everything around. The history of Rogathe Dairy dates back to when I was young. My parents used to be farmers. I went to school through the money that was got that we sold milk. I remember when I was young, I used to wake up early in the morning. I was supposed to clean the cow shed. I was supposed to provide the cows with milk. Then by 7 a.m., that's when I would rush to school since I was young. So I think this was an hobby I have. Growing up as a farmer myself from my parents. But 12 years ago, when my father passed, we stopped this business of farming. So when I returned back from Singapore and I started thinking of what I should do next, I saw a very big gap on the dairy sector in Tanzania. So there was a huge deficit of milk, whereby supermarkets were piled up with milk imported from South Africa, Europe, and Kenya. Uh, there was so much milk that has been imported compared to the milk that is produced in Tanzania. So that's when I decided to venture into processing. I opened a small processing facility whereby we could only process 250 liters a day, but our collection capacity was around 300 to 400 liters per day. So we used to process the milk and sell the milk to customers around our processing facility, and others we could sell the milk in town because our facility is located around 150 kilometers from Dar es Salaam town. We are out of Dar es Salaam town. So by the time the demand of milk, locally produced milk, which was cheaper, grew. So I decided to seek an opportunity to grow, whereby I asked for a loan from different Tanzanian banks. The sad thing is that Tanzanian banks, the larger Tanzanian bank called the Tanzania Agricultural Development Bank, they refused to give us a loan. But then we went to a commercial bank called Access, and they gave us a loan, but a very big interest rate. We were given 45 US dollars, 45,000 at an interest of 5% per month. So you can imagine the interest was too high to an extent that sometimes we couldn't even pay the loan because business wasn't was not good as we expected. But things turned around last year when I met Looney through Fledge. So he helped us grow our business through mentorship and coaching. We were given vigorous training of how to grow our business, how to work through growing Rogathe Dairy. So this is what turned things around. The investment we received from Africa It's and Fledge, who is Looney apparently, helped us grow our business by a factor of 9. We were only producing 350 liters of milk, but then we grew to 1,000 liters per hour. When Looney gave us the first investment, we decided to buy a processing machine. We decided to buy a pasteurizer with the capacity to pasteurize 1,000 liters per hour. So this helped us grow our production and our collection. It helped us reach more customers because we had now enough milk to supply to our customers. But then the demand was also increasing every day. So Looney made, through angel investing, he made a second investment. We were given a loan from angel investors from Fledge. This loan turned things around also, and we were able to process around 15 to 18,000 liters per day. And we also introduced a wide range of dairy products that were all imported. They were not available in Tanzania. And if they're available in Tanzania, the cost price would be really expensive. So we gave the people of Dar es Salaam and coastal area an opportunity for affordable milk that they couldn't expect. Yeah, so this is a general background of that.
I got you. So, I mean, in the beginning, what kind of equipment did you acquire, and then how did you finance it? You just started your venture, right? How did you finance to acquire the equipment?
Okay, so yeah, it was only my mom, who gave me, I would say, a seed capital. Yeah,
I see.
yeah. So I started by a seed capital from my mom.
Where did you? I mean, what kind of equipment? Where did you? I mean, source the equipment? I thought it's a milk production equipment. I imagine it's very expensive. Port equipment. from overseas, or did you source it from the
No,
local?
no. We source it from Kenya, which is just nearby.
Hmm,
So it's really expensive, but we got it at a very good price. It was a used
I see.
equipment, so we sourced it from Kenya. Yeah.
Got you. Got you. Actually, you are very right about your first business. What I have observed in Asia, like 30
Yes.
years ago, like China,
Yeah.
milk production company, processing company, one of the fastest growing industry in China. Now in
Oh,
Vietnam, uh,
yes.
it's Vina Milk. That's the largest milk production and distribution company in the Vietnam. They are fourth largest business group in Vietnam. The valuation is I think a few $1 billion.
Oh,
But
okay.
after industry like move into the like developed stage like Japan and Korea, it become dying sector now. Milk people don't drink milk anymore, and then we don't have a lot of baby and young children any longer. Just couple have one child and an average, right? So milk production company, distribution company in Korea, for example, because I'm familiar with the Korea, they cannot make money. Their sales keep decreasing. So I think you have a potential for at least 20, 30 years in Africa.
Um,
Okay.
then maybe if I can ask, for the
Okay,
case of
please.
Korea, it's not a must for dairy processing companies to only sell milk. There are so many other dairy products which can be sold out of milk. We have ghee, we have cheese, we can also use the milk in ice cream. Does that mean in Korea they don't consume ghee, they don't consume cheese and ice cream?
I mean, they produce. The problem is, I think, a combination, complex combination of a market. A market means different consumer, different consumption, and also is a
Yes,
competition, right? Like
yes,
Dutch company, Danish company, Australian company, New Zealand company. They have a huge dairy company, very full value chain, right? Then they have a
yes,
scale. So imported product from those country, I
mm,
mean, too competitive. So a Korean company, even though they produce everything as you just described, they cannot compete
yes,
with them except for the milk.
okay,
So
okay,
still they are selling those products, cheese and then butter, everything. But the consumer become more sophisticated. They're willing to pay more money. They're willing to, have a little better quality, better reputation, better branding, right? That's a situation. Yeah. So, but
yeah,
the developing economy, emerging market, frontier market is milk production. That's become new trend because, as you said, you can introduce a lot of different milk product, like cheese and butter, and then sophisticated packaging, which is appealing to the consumer. Then you
yes.
have huge potential, maybe much bigger potential than IT technology company in Africa, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
it's true. It's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you, evolve your business and grow the business in the right direction with the full value chain.
Yes, it's true. Very
Okay.
correct.
So would you describe the situation and challenge in milk production and consumption in Tanzania? And what problem are you solving now?
Okay. So the situation of milk production in Tanzania, it's currently, I would say we are producing less than 2 billion liters compared to our consumption, which is around 3 to 4 billion liters in Tanzania per year, per annum. Tanzania imports more. Last year, we imported 23 million liters of milk, but then to this, because this it's already a dry season. I was just told for the 2 months alone, they have imported around 1.6, no, sorry, 21 million liters for only 2 months alone, January to February, because it's a dry season in Tanzania, and the cows are now losing milk. So all the processors are in a hustle to collect milk everywhere, which is really in small production quantity. For the consumption, I would say in Tanzania, the consumption is based on pricing model because milk in Tanzania is expensive than a liter of petrol or a liter of diesel. So you can imagine milk has become a luxurious good. But all I can tell you is that if milk is available at a cheaper price, then definitely the consumption will increase. But for now, milk is only taken as a luxurious good, which is only sold to the elite. for the for the less than $1 income earners, milk to them, it's like a luxurious good. Milk is important to the consumption of individuals in Tanzania because of the nutritional value available in milk. For us, we are solving problems associated with malnutrition. We are also solving problems associated with stunting because our products are well fortified to cater for this product. We are also solving problems associated with shortage of milk in Tanzania at the moment.
Are you using the UHT packaging?
No, we are not using a UHT packaging. The cost of investing in a UHT package, a single machine costs around 450,000 US dollars, and we don't have that money at the moment. But I'm thinking that's the way to go in the near future.
I think so. That's the way. That's the way the Vinamilk in Vietnam has grown the business very quickly, because the UHT is not popular in the developed world, right? Europe, US.
Yes, exactly.
But interestingly, Vinamilk focus on the UHT because in terms of ecosystem, distributor, retailer, they don't have a refrigerator necessarily, right?
Yes,
So then
exactly.
it's if you have UHT packaging, it can expand the grow the business. I mean, the scale the business much more quickly than ordinary situation. Also, they export the milk to the Middle East with the UHT
Yes,
packaging.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a probably
Yeah.
potential.
Yeah, for us, UHT is really a way to go. We are trying to raise money to buy at least three machines, and one of them includes the UHT. As I say, the single machine costs around 450,000 US dollars. So that's why we decided to go for the organic first. It's only processed and homogenized milk. But then our business model is that we sell our dairy products to B2B customers, whereby we only sell to schools, hospitals. So our business model, it's largely incorporated in bulk milk selling. So in the future, as we are growing,
bulk milk selling means that
we are only
who are the
we are only
buyers?
selling. Yes, the buyers are mostly schools, restaurants, hospitals, and individuals who wants to buy milk from 10 liters, 50 liters, up to 100 liters.
So
These are our bulk
you're directly
sellers.
selling the consumer. You're not selling to the retailer.
We are also selling to the retailers. Then the retailers will also sell directly to the consumers. So we have a different customer segment.
I see. I got you.
Schools, yes, for the schools, they provide the milk directly to the students, especially primary schools kids. For the hospitals, then you find that most hospitals in Tanzania, they have kitchens, really large kitchens, whereby they cook meals for their patients. So then when we sell to the milk around 100 liters or 50 liters, the milk is then provided to their patients in the hospitals. Yeah.
Got you.
So
When you sell the milk to the hospital and then school cafeteria, are you using the small packaging? Say, common
No.
packaging we see in the retail, or are you using other container, large container?
Yeah, we are using large containers. We have milk cans.
Okay.
Yeah, double jacked milk cans. So, they are food grade stainless steel, which ensures that the processed milk remains.
Yes, I'm familiar with that. Yeah, I have seen that.
Yeah, so we often deliver milk from 20 liters, 30 liters, 50 to 100 liters.
Yeah.
We also have small packaging, whereby last year we entered into a contract with a local bus service, which travels, it's a regional bus. It travels between Dar es Salaam and Dodoma, the capital city of Tanzania. So we often sell to them milk in small units. We pack in bottles. We bought a bottle filler. So we have 250 mils and 500 mils. So after we started packaging in small units, we also decided to sell the small units, the bottles to other customers. So we now have 5 liters. We also have 10 liters.
Got you. Very interesting. You studied, distribution sales to those direct customer, consumer, selling in a bulk. That's a very interesting idea. I think good idea too. I have seen the similar business in Asia. For example, there is a two identical dumpling manufacturing company, let's say in Hong Kong, China, right? One company, actually, personally, I reviewed the investment opportunity for those two companies. So I closely reviewed their business model and performance, financial performance. Interestingly, they shared a lot of employees. Company A employed, they left, and then joined the company B, so they have a used to have the same factory manager and taste quite same, everything same. But one company are distributing dumpling to the like cafeteria, franchise restaurant, and same similar way you do now. And so they don't deal with the retailer, large retailer, hypermarket. But the other company, company B, they're only dealing with the hypermarket, supermarket, and retailer. Then result on bottom line is company A has a very profitable. Company B is very marginal, even though the taste and business model, even product line are almost the same. So, but of course, when you want to expand the sales, then is you need to cover the all white spaces, including retailer. But starting with a direct customer buyer, I think that's a very, very good idea.
Yes, exactly. And we never wanted to start in a small units directly to consumers because we were worried of the competition with the working capital we had. It was really small. So then we said, okay, there is this untapped market. If a hotel wants milk, they can't buy small units of around 50 liters. Then we have to tap into this. Then when we started growing in this market segment, now even the larger players are asking me, well, how did you come up with this idea? We also want to start this because at the moment we are only covering two regions, Dar es Salaam and Coast. So the other players are asking me, are we able to replicate your idea into our regions where we are operating? Then I'm telling them, okay, maybe we can try. Then while I'm worried that their regions have been my customer potential areas, what if they do the same model? It's going to be difficult for me to adapt to them.
Idea is not, I mean, these days, idea is not important, right? Important thing is how you execute it, right? And with your business model, because instead of dealing with one large retailer, meet with, purchasing manager, you need to deal with organization, like very conservative.
Yes.
I can imagine very difficult to identify the decision maker, school,
Yes.
cafeteria, hospital.
Exactly.
So I can imagine challenges you have gone through developing the like a business. How did you get your first customer? Did they love the idea from the beginning? I mean, they automatically, instantly accepted your product and agreed to buy. Tell me the story how
So
you struggled to develop the first customer.
okay. Okay, so if you've watched Nipedili, I think you saw one of my ask was that I was looking for an investor who is well connected to help me with this lobbying in schools and restaurants because for real it's very difficult to acquire a customer who is already used of small units. Then you
Right.
compare to us, we're telling him, okay, we have this milk in bulk at an affordable price. So my first customer I remember my first customer was myself. As I said, I operated other businesses before. I used to have a restaurant and a retail shop. So when I started selling milk to myself, to my final consumers in my restaurant, so another person asked me, how comes you're selling milk tea at a very cheaper price? Then I told them I'm buying milk at this price. So then the other restaurant owner said, okay, can you bring the milk to me? I also started delivering milk to that person.
That's very creative idea.
Then that is how word started spreading. Okay, this individual can give us milk at a really affordable price and in bulk compared to us buying milk in small tots, then selling to the final consumers. And I also remember the day when I was pitching for Nipedili, we were at a certain hotel in Dar es Salaam. So the manager of the hotel had my business idea. He was there listening and he said, okay, I want us to work together. So you can imagine when you convince someone that we can give you a liter of milk at a price of 1,200 T shillings, while the larger players can give you a liter of milk at a price of 3,500. So you'll find the decision makers of the restaurants or schools will definitely come to me and say, okay, give us milk at a price of 1,200. So that is how I acquired my customers, even though until today it's quite difficult to lobby with them.
That's a very interesting story. It's a very difficult journey, right, to acquire the new customer. But I can feel that you're very good at hustling and then, I mean, continue to convince the new customer. I can feel that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Really, I think I'm
Yeah.
good at that.
Right.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Yeah. What is the biggest challenge in scaling your business or taking it to the next level? Is it the skilled talent you need to find and get on your boss, I mean, your team, or money, or the sales and marketing strategy? Anything you feel that you are lacking in now?
Okay, so at the moment, my biggest challenge is raising money to grow. As I said, we received money last year and we've made very good profits. So we used the profits in constructing our new 150,000 liters capacity processing facility. So we are now in progress. We are constructing a facility that will be able to cater in machines for 150,000 liters capacity per day. So you can see our expansion growth in mass. But another challenge I'm facing is that I'm looking for a product development. So the milk sector in Tanzania, if I'm to deal with the larger players, we have two larger players in the industry at the moment who have dominated the dairy sector in Tanzania. I need to come up with new products which shall be appealing to the customers, to the end consumers. We have a list of around 4 products, which we are sure if we roll them out to the final consumers, then definitely I'm going to take the lead. So also in terms of team, these larger dairy processing companies have been stealing in my team members, convincing them to pay them huge money. Then they take them from us, regardless of how hard we have worked together to raise this company. But yet, you find that that person leaves you for a bigger player, and then you become worried. Okay, if he has gone to this big company, what if he's selling all of our ideas that we have had for the last 2 years or the last 1 year? So this is our biggest challenge also at the moment. For the strategy, we have a very good strategy in terms of sales, in terms of product development, but then we are only lacking capital. We're only lacking enough money for us to grow, and we are also lacking technical expertise. So this is our biggest challenge at the moment.
I got you. Yeah. I mean, I've been in the investor and the lender side all the time, but when I meet with a business owner, entrepreneur,
Yes.
they always
Yes.
say that they need only money. Otherwise, I mean, quickly grow the business, make success. But
Okay.
investors say that in a different, they view the different way. You need to prove
Yeah.
your revenue sales, and then money will chase you, right? We
Yes.
love you, right?
Yes.
So the chicken
Yes.
and egg game, but need to keep that
Yeah.
in mind, right? So like if you show the hint of a huge potential, I mean
Yeah.
visual evidence in some way, not today's sales, right? But you
Yeah.
don't need to sell. But if you show the little hint of the potential sale, I mean money will chase you, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
I
That is
mean,
very true.
right,
Uh, Maybe I should tell you that before Looney came to us, before Looney saw us, I always call Looney the mastermind of our business because he's the one who saw us. He took us from a small dairy processing facility to somewhere. Before even commercial banks in Tanzania never saw us. But then after we had risen within a year, we have seen commercial banks coming to us and asking us, hey, are you interested in giving you a loan?
right.
But then, yeah, whenever I think of the interest rates in Tanzania, I always tell them, no, I'm not
Too expensive,
interested.
right?
It's too expensive. I would rather wait for these foreign investors to help us raise the money. But I'm not going back to where I come from with interest rates of 8 to 10% per month. Because in Tanzania, the minimum interest rate is around 5% for commercial banks. So you can imagine 5 times 12, it's almost 60%. The interest rate is really high.
Mm.
So if it's money for investments, it's definitely you're going to sink down. Yeah, so that is why I always trust them and tell them, no, we're not interested. And something else that gives me anger is that you saw us when we were really young, you never gave us money. Today we have grown to this much. That is when you're showing your interest with us. No, I'm not ready. I always tell them that. Yeah.
Right. I think Looney is a very unusual person. Yeah, I interviewed him on my podcast too, and then we had a chat by the email or I mean,
Yeah.
online. But I think he's a very unique, right? So I think he look
Yeah.
at much longer term
Yes.
and potential. Probably he tried to see the people too. So
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
not
That's
a
very
box
true.
ticking. He's not. He doesn't tick the box.
Exactly. That's the good thing about him. I always, whenever people ask me, tell us your success story, so many people ask me. I was called for a promotional talk to talk to a school, students in a local school, secondary school. And they told me, tell us about your success story. I always tell them, my success story is none other than Looney. That's always I always tell them. And they will be asking, who is Looney? I tell them, he's the one who saw us when we were very small. And now that we have reached somewhere, he's still looking at us, and I'm sure he's never going to stop looking at us.
Very
So
good.
I would
I
say,
mean,
yeah,
that's a very interesting way to, I mean, you answered that kind of question. I like that answer. Also, it's a very important and valuable relationship you built with Looney, right? He's a coverage, not only money. Money is he didn't. I don't think he made a huge. I mean, $100 million into your business, but the relationship you started built with him, I believe could be very helpful to you in the longer term as well. Yeah.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah. Okay, very good.
yes,
And the next question, this is final question. What is the next
yes.
step on top of your mind for your business? And also, what is your dream and long-term vision with Logati?
So my dream is to see Rogathe Dairy become the largest dairy player in East Africa. We are thinking of in the long run, when we have enough processing capacity, we have enough milk. We're thinking of even exporting milk to the Middle East. We are thinking of exporting milk to the islands such as Comoros, Mauritius, whereby they have no enough milk. Most of their milk comes from South Africa and Kenya. Um, in the long run for Rogathe, my biggest ambition is to see we go public. That's my biggest ambition. Africa itself the same idea or ambition. Then I always say I think I want to be the first to go public. We're waiting when we reach a record revenues of $5 million in a year, of which I'm pretty sure we're going to do that in the next 3 to 4 years. Then definitely we will go public. I wouldn't want to own Rogathe Dairy alone or with Looney. So I would like Rogathe Dairy to be the first dairy processing company in East Africa to go public, whereby we shall be listed either in Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange and Nairobi Stock Exchange. Yeah. So this is the biggest long run.
Very good. Yeah. Thank you so much for the taking time, shared your interesting story. I'm very impressed by your dream, and I believe you can make that happen in the near future. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you very much, David. It was a pleasure talking to you, and thank you very much once again.
Thank you very much for listening to this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, share with a friend, and drop me a review. Goodbye.